with a career spanning more than 35 years in the film industry. Executive producer Steen Showreel has produced several of the cornerstones of Danish cinema. He was responsible for launching the careers of important directors such as Lasse Spang Olsen, Morten Arnfred, Niels Malmros, Billy August, and Søren Kragh Jacobsen. Steen has been credited with transforming the entire Danish film industry. Steen Showreel virtually exploded onto the scene with a small company producing big pictures, immediately living up to his stated goal of quality and originality, thus invigorating a very local Danish industry into an internationally acclaimed commodity. Steen Showreel's first feature film, Leave Us Alone, was a startling, hard-boiled portrayal of contemporary teenagers with rebellious attitudes, separated from adult society on an isolated island. The film received a Golden Bear Best Picture nomination at the Berlin International Film Festival and launched a massive wave of films about teenagers. Among these were Steen Showreel's own Let's Do It, about a 16-year-old boy taken hostage during a bank robbery, and You Are Not Alone, in which a group of school kids rise up against a tyrannical headmaster. The Danish government initially made You Are Not Alone illegal to watch by the age group it portrayed. But upon closer inspection, it was decided that in fact the film merely gave an honest and vivid portrayal of contemporary teen life, and the restriction was overruled. Equally provocative and even more successful was Boys, the breakthrough feature of director Niels Malmros. The film, which portrays 3 stages in the sexuality of a human male, was hailed as a masterpiece by the critics and was honored with the Best Film Prize at the Bodil Awards, the Danish Oscar. The Double Man marked the mainstream breakthrough of director Frans Ernst, who also helmed Steen Showreel's thriller The Marksman. It told the story of an environmentalist who climbs a rooftop with his favorite rifle, determined to fight the construction of a local nuclear power plant by acts of terror. Following this path of controversy, Steen Showreel's next feature production, Clark, will be the story of a convicted bank robber, Clark Olofsson, then regarded as one of the world's most dangerous criminals. The film ignited international debate by allowing the criminal to tell his side of the story. Equally ambitious was Evening Land, a nightmare vision of a near future of spiritual and economic chaos. Directed by Peter Watkins, the film was made to resemble a documentary and received a Golden Prize nomination at the Moscow International Film Festival. Another successful fiction-documentary crossover experiment was Jan Bang Carlsen's North Sea Fisherman, depicting some dramatic months in the life of a fisherman. This film was the director's first attempt at staged documentary, which was to become his trademark style. It was followed by A Sunday in Hell, directed by acclaimed documentary director Jorn Leth. This astonishing feature film, shot in one day only, with a huge international film crew, portrays the dramatic Paris-Roubaix bicycle race with a flurry of dynamic visuals and riveting detail. A Sunday in Hell received many awards and became a huge international hit. Returning to the genre of youth films, yet moving on to a more romantic sentiment, Steen Showreel now produced the love story Wanna See My Beautiful Navel, which won the audience prize at the Lubeck Nordic Film Days. Wanna See My Beautiful Navel marked the directing debut of noted filmmaker Søren Kragh Jacobsen, and is fondly remembered by an entire generation for its honest, heartfelt portrayal of a teenage romance. Another huge hit for Steen Showreel was the film Me and Charlie, which portrays the friendship between 2 teenage boys from contrasting social backgrounds. Me and Charlie marked the directing debut of Morten Arnfred and received international attention, with Time Out describing it as engagingly acted. It's tentative and open-ended in the realistic mode, often intriguingly suggestive. Me and Charlie was Steen Showreel's second film to be honored with the Best Film Prize at the Bodil Awards, but he wisely chose not to produce its disappointing sequel. Even more success lay ahead with Honeymoon, a bitter social realist drama about the disintegrating relationship of a young newlywed couple. It was widely regarded as the year's best Danish film and received Bodil Awards for Best Film, Best Actress, and Best Supporting Actress. It also marked the directing debut of Billy August, who went on to become one of the world's most successful filmmakers, helming huge international productions such as Pella the Conqueror and Les Miserables. Meanwhile, Steen Showreel continued his successful relationship with director Jorn Lett, resulting in the experimental feature film Notes on Love. A challenging production shot around the world, the end result was nevertheless an intimate, cinematic experience, using a series of dreamlike images to portray the many different faces of love. Another director with whom Steen Showreel has enjoyed a fruitful relationship is Torben Skut Jensen. They collaborated on the documentary feature Carl Dreyer, My Métier, portraying the man behind such films as The Passion of Joan of Arc. Realized in a unique, hypnotic style worthy of Dreyer himself, the film was honored with both a Bodil Award and a Robert Award for Best Documentary, in Danish terms, the equal to winning both an Oscar and a Golden Globe. Steen Showreel and Torben Skut Jensen teamed up again on Simon's film, a documentary feature about the controversial and eccentric millionaire Simon Spies, Denmark's own version of Howard Hughes. The project had special meaning for Steen Showreel, who back in the early 1970s got his start in the film industry shooting private documentary footage for Simon Spies. Steen Showreel next produced former stuntman Lasse Spang Olsen's tongue-in-cheek action comedy In China, They Eat Dogs, which Variety compared favorably to Pulp Fiction. Nominated for 3 Robert Awards, it won for Best Special Effects, in addition to the Audience Award at Luxembourg International Film Festival, and also was a triumph at the box office. In China, They Eat Dogs generated a successful sequel, Old Men in New Cars, for which Steen Showreel focused his effort on producing the biggest stunt action set pieces ever filmed in Denmark. As requested by the director Lasse Spang Olsen, the screen virtually exploded with high-octane action. Proving his versatility, Steen next turned to the charming, bittersweet drama comedy Better Off Dad, directed by Peter Ringgaard. It offers one of the most unusual father-son relationships in modern cinema. In addition to his 24 feature films, Steen Showreel has produced well over 600 shorter items, including documentary films, television programs, industry films and commercials, as well as several drama and documentary series for television. Many of these have been international productions filmed around the world. For instance, Peter Ingber's documentary short, Progress, A New Millennium. Here the director takes us to the USA, Japan, Central America, Africa, Scandinavia, Peru, Thailand, and Bhutan, in order to ask a wide selection of people which values and visions they think will dominate our lives in the future. Another kind of travel is undertaken in Klaus Bohm's documentary short, Poet, a portrait of 10 influential poets of the 1990s. Taking travel as its theme, the film moves through 10 poetic landscapes where 10 different voices find expression. I'm the Same, Only More, directed by Leonard Passborg, is a documentary short about the amazing career and technique and emotional approach of Danish ballet star Erik Bruhn. It won many international awards. Focusing on cultural issues normally hidden from view, Birgit Nielsen Petersen's documentary short, The Divine Manual, closely portrays 2 young Danish women who have converted to Islam. Steen Showreel has personally directed several of his own productions. This includes the personal art film Øresund and the Light, where he guides the audience on a tour of the water and nature between Denmark and Sweden, showing us how to look at things from a new perspective. Water is also the theme in Steen Shoreel's television documentary, The Mystery of the Flying Enterprise, where directors Lasse Spang Olsen and Emil Øjgaard travel to the bottom of the ocean to explore the newly discovered remains of a historically famous sea wreck. This local Titanic became a favorite with Danish viewers and has been shown repeatedly on national television. Most recently, Steen Showreel produced the educational DVD FemiX and Beyond. Through groundbreaking use of computer-generated images and layers upon layers of optional bonus information, the DVD explored the psychological and physiological aspects of a new medical herbal remedy for women, produced with participation from leading research scientists of London University. With many new productions in development, Steen Showreel and his company Waterfront continue to be at the head of Danish film and television production. If your goal is quality and originality, Steen Showreel, with his long list of accomplishments, has set his sights on new challenges for the future.